controversy lingers over the recent memorial service to remember the victims of wartime forced labor at the former Sado mines in Japan. Today, the nation's foreign minister was present at the National Assembly. Our foreign affairs correspondent Bae Eun-ji explains.
South Korea's foreign minister addressed public criticism over Japan's memorial ceremony for Korean wartime forced labor victims and vowed to take full responsibility. In an assembly session on Thursday, he said not participating in the event was an inevitable decision, as Japan failed to fulfill the commitments it made in July upon the UNESCO listing of the Sado mines.
Our government will continue to raise this issue at the World Heritage Committee as a matter concerning the implementation of the agreement.
But lawmakers from the rival parties strongly criticized the way the government handled the situation. A Democratic Party lawmaker showed frustration, saying that the agreement made in July was not a meaningful one in the first place.
The agreement in July falls far short of Koreans' expectations and demands. But because the government kept saying it was well done, it ended up being presented as if Japan broke some kind of major promise. This is why the situation is now being evaluated as a diplomatic disaster.
Even ruling People Party lawmakers criticized the government's passive response on the matter.
This is because we relied on Japan's goodwill, and because we were engaged in negotiations just for the sake of negotiating. We were negotiating just to finish the negotiations, and this is why we were deceived this time, as we were in the past.
The former gold mines located on Sado Island off Japan are where at least 1,500 Koreans were forced to work under harsh conditions during Japan's colonial rule from 1910 to 1945. Japan managed to register the controversial mines as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in July after Seoul accepted Tokyo's promise to reflect the mine's full history, including the abuse of Korean laborers. Upon listing, Japan promised to hold memorial services at the site annually to remember all the laborers who had to work in the Sado Island gold mines. After months of negotiations, the two countries agreed to hold their first such memorial on Sunday, before South Korea suddenly announced that it would not attend the event, saying it had been impossible to settle disagreements between the two governments. Japan went on to hold the event despite South Korea's last-minute boycott, but made no mention of how Koreans were forced to work under such brutal conditions, and did not issue an apology, leading to public criticism in South Korea. Bae Eun-ji, Arirang News.